Mm. Them away. Mm-hmm. But these are your children. You can have hardline rules, and they're obligated to follow them.
Yeah, may Allah bless our children and bless their parents. And my wife and I, mashallah, many of you know my wife, many of these beautiful people here, because she was here with me when we were here. We've been married for 41 years, mashallah. And she has been one of the pillars of my life. I wouldn't be able to do very much without her. But we were actually saying, it's so nice to be old. We were saying that after our daughter called with one of her problems. Our children. And we said, it's so nice to be old. Grandmother and grandfather, right? I don't envy you. I don't envy you because, that's a difficult road. But one of the things that I have been taught and that I truly believe is that the greatest thing of all, you want your children to grow up loving Islam. We have a beautiful brother here right now who has 11 children and 28 grandchildren. And I've known him for 30-some years, And he was telling me tonight that, mashallah, all of his children are in Islam. They live and breathe Islam, and his grandchildren as well, and they love to pray. Okay, what's the secret? And what I was taught and what I believe and what I know is true of this brother is that the husband and wife love each other. The husband and wife stand by each other. There's a poet who says, my mother and father are two streams that come together in my heart. So, one of the main things that we can do as mothers and fathers to help our children is to love each other as husband and wife. And that's why, and I know also that we live in a time in which marriage is often very difficult. And I don't want to discourage anybody by talking about that ideal, which a lot of us find very difficult to reach. But that's something we have to understand, that when the husband and wife disdain each other, look down on each other, and this happens a lot. They don't love each other, they don't want to be around each other. That abuses the child. Because me, as a son, the thing that I am most proud of in the world is not the car my father drives, or the house he lives in, or the clothes he bought me, or the delicious food he put on the table, but that he loves my mother, and he understands my mother, and she loves him, right? And that's why we want to make our marriages work, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And there are many children who come from difficult families and broken families, and they're still really gems. Okay, Allah bless them. But if you look around and you see the children like the children of this brother, you will see that these children are strong children. And they are actually quite happy in this life. And then look at the mother and father. And I can show you place after place where those mothers and fathers love each other. And although they've been married for 20 years or 30 years or more, it's still like the first day and the first night. That is one of the greatest gifts that Allah can give us. May Allah give that to all of us. Okay, and then the children will inherit that from you. But when you raise children, be ready for the rodeo. Right? Be ready for it, because children, even if you do love your husband, or if he loves you, when they get to a certain age, they often don't want to hear a thing you have to say. And they want to say the empowering word, no, I'm not going to do that. So that's a hard thing to go through. It's a very hard thing to go through. And here, It's like bring the children up well, give them lots of love, and the most important love that the mother and father give their children is the love the mother and father have for each other. And also other things as well. Dhikr, remembering the name of Allah. You know, the angels that carry the throne. Do you know how big the throne of Allah is? Do you have any idea? You take the first heavens, which are the ones you can see, and if you were to put them in the second heaven, the first heaven, which is this huge heaven you see above us, would be like a coin, a ring that is thrown away in a desert. And the second heaven, in the third heaven, is like a coin thrown away in a desert. And every heaven is like that. And when you get to the seventh heaven, which is the biggest of all, if you were to take that and put it and compare it to the kursi. What is the kursi? Am I sitting on a kursi? No. Kursi is a footstool. Kursi is not a chair. The kursi is the footstool of the throne. The king puts his feet on the kursi. Even though today we call this a kursi in Arabic, but in the Arabic of the Quran, the kursi is the footstool. Okay? The seventh heaven in the kursi is like a coin thrown away in a vast desert. And the Prophet told us the arsh, the throne of God, has no likeness. It is the greatest thing that God created. And it's carried by 8 angels. Angels are the most powerful of all beings in creation. And the Prophet saw Gabriel, alayhi salam, with all of his wings spread out from one horizon to another. Can you imagine how powerful he is? Gabriel, he took the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and lifted them up and turned them over and crashed them down. And that lake which was there, and we know from archaeological records that there was a lake there and that there was a city of Sodom and Gomorrah. We know it was there. And it becomes the lowest place on the face of the earth, and the water is so salty you can't hardly drown in it. Okay, Gabriel does that. And there are 8 angels that carry the throne of Allah. 8, how big are they? How huge are they? And what did they do? Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim, subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim. They glorify Allah. And that's why when you say those words, subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim, the throne vibrates because you are now matching what the angels say. And what else do those angels say? They ask forgiveness for you. They ask forgiveness for the believers. Okay? So this is what we are all about. You know, this is what the human being is. Human being is a very special creature. And, you know, if we give our children the beauty of the dhikr, ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub, it's only with the mentioning of Allah that these hearts actually find peace. Then it's like giving them a rope and they will go a little bit this way, a little bit that way, but they'll come back, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But we ask Allah to protect our children. In many Muslim communities in the United States today, I don't want to even say what the percentage is. There is a large percentage of our young men and women who don't have much to do with us. Okay, and that's not good. That's not right. We have to turn that around. We have to be merciful, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Inshallah.